Okay, we can get started in about 3 more minutes. You might want to log into SB and get ready to look at today's assignment. All right. Hey, Rush, are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. All right. You should see who's in the class and at the
All
floor.
right. Hold on. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. We're gonna spread out these points for those who need them, who need them and want to benefit off these points. Who want to go first voluntarily, or I'm gonna call somebody.
Huh?
Um, you want to go first?
What, the basic norms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No one has the right to hurt another person. Education in the classroom are sacred. We will never behave in a way that will discredit ourselves, our school, or our family. And Excel Academy Southwest student always acts with integrity. We take pride in Excel Academy in Southwest.
Avion, you wanna do the academics?
Yeah, I do it. We respect the opinions of others. We respect the culture of the classroom. We are attentive and participant. We have high expectations of ourselves, our peers, and our teachers. We are here to focus on preparing ourselves for post-secondary endeavors.
Yep, good job. All right, GGI and Townhouse is mandatory, y'all. Still not sure why everybody not showing up, like they're supposed to, but um, you know, it's a real beneficial half hour. 30 minutes is like the most beneficial 30 minutes pretty much that's going on, informational, post-secondary endeavors, opportunities, it's just so much information and resources and, just all things to help you out and, just get opportunity for you and put you in a better position and, and educate you on things that you're probably not thinking about. You know what I'm saying? It's just a good resource and just to stimulate your mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get you to thinking and be open-minded and, you know what I mean? With the topics and everything, these topics, not just topics, they was created, you know what I'm saying? To exercise your brain and to, give you a different outlook. You might have one way of thinking and you want to expand your mind, make you think multiple different ways, you know what I'm saying? Just to help you just get stronger and build your brain, build your mind. But yeah, overall, very, very beneficial 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? 11:15 a.m. Monday through Friday. So I hope to start seeing y'all showing up, on a consistent basis. All right, Drummer Boy will be our special guest on Fridays, GGI at 11:15. He's an award-winning celebrity music producer. He did songs for 2 Chainz, Yo Gotti, T.I., Rick Ross, Wale, Waka Flocka, Gucci Mane, Jeezy, Migos, and more. Very successful African-American male. He will be there to give you insight, answer some questions, whatever it may be. It's your chance to, ask someone that's in a position, how they might have got there to that position, what inspired them, encouraged them, or whatever like that. You can ask, you know what I mean? You just your opportunity to ask someone successful, whatever you want to ask them. All right, next. Black History Month Empowerment Seminar. Guest speakers, Lene Harper, she's in the WNBA. Imani Truth, she's a poet. DJ Mike P, rest in peace, Juice WRLD, that was his DJ. That's his DJ. Boo, entrepreneur. Stacey Moore, author. Joe Gathens, public figure, and more. Again, these is opportunities that we're giving y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is also going to be on Friday on February the 19th. So yeah, tune in, y'all. Referral contest. We don't have a lot of time left. We have very limited time left for this. No one has taken advantage. Only, as I've been saying for the last days and weeks, a few have only taken advantage of the refer a friend, which is they referred maybe like one person and they got a $50 Walmart gift card. We still have one left for that. But no one has taken advantage of the 3rd place, 2nd place, or 1st place prizes.
Hey, get my $50 gift card.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that last one, if you're really telling the truth about that, I'm pretty sure that last one is probably for you. If you did refer or bring someone on board. So we could talk after this about that. So you did your part, it's yours. All right, next. All right, who wants to read the Let's Code slide so they can get the points for this?
Every Tuesday and Wednesday, learn the code from convenience of your phone and get extra credit for some of your classes. Pandemic's effect on the coding job market. Why learn code? Surprisingly broad benefits of coding. Interest.
Good job, David. Good job. All right, who wants to read the daily task and the text under it? Nobody want these points? Journey, go ahead, read this, Journey.
Daily tasks. Students will be able to complete the evaluation in ASB. Hello, our inspiring STEM students. Welcome to class. Inside of ASB, can access all pre-recorded videos of each class. These videos are normally ready to review by 4 p.m. daily.
Good job, good job. All right. Who wants to read a day's objective in the term of the day and the word of the day? I want, let me see. Jalen, where you at, Jalen?
Right here.
All right, do today's objective.
Should be able to utilize positional time graphics techniques for evaluating averages and slopes data.
All right, do the physics welcome, the term of the day and the word of the day.
Plus, in terms of the day's average, what it is elated.
All right, good job.
All right, great job, Mr. Rush, yet again. Okay, so everybody, so glad that sun went down a little bit. It was blinding me. All right, so everybody got their, mostly everybody. Sanders hasn't spoken yet. Mr. Sanders, you got to turn your camera on. You cannot be in class and your camera's off. That's just the rule. So let's go through today's assignment. Okay. And you should be in EDSB, everybody. So before we get started, I want to make sure you get to the document you need. Once you get to this document, you're going to need to make sure you make your own copy of the document so you can do the assignment on your own. I'm going to need everyone to open the chat up to plug in their current email address so I can share this document with you. So take a moment and put your current email address in the chat. Did everybody put their email in there? Rush, can you take a look at the chat and let me know if they did that or not? Because I'm trying to get the document ready for them. I see some emails are popping up. Thank you, Jalen. So he's first. Let's see who else put their, again, everybody put your email. I see Journey got hers, David, Stucky. Mr. Sanders, are you present? If you don't respond, I'm going to have to
Yeah,
Okay, you got to turn that camera on and put your email in the chat, sir. All right, let's see here. I'm going to start populating the email addresses that I did get. So Journey is first. Next would be, who's next on my list? Thank you, Mr. Sanders. David is next. And you got to be logged into your email account to get this because you won't see it unless you're in your email. So in a moment, I'm going to send an email out. Be ready to receive it. And last is Sanders. Okay, and you also check your email addresses and click on the link so you can get into the document. Take a moment and log into your email account and then click on the document that I have presented to you. I see a few students are logging in. Remember, do not type anything in there. The first thing you want to do is go to File over here and make a copy. Okay, do that. Do not alter the document. This is the master template for all students. Don't change it yet. First, make your own copy so it can be saved to your Google Drive. Go to File and make a copy. You're going to need this to do today's do now. All right, so take a moment and do that. Make your own copies once you get it. And then make sure you're in EDSB as well as that document. So one screen should be, if you resize it, and hopefully you're on a computer because you can't do most of my work as a science student on a phone. So if you're not already on a computer, you might want to power your computer up and get on it because you're not going to be able to do much on your little phone. All right. That don't mean in a bad way. I'm just saying you got to grow up sometime. So please get on the computer and log into Google Meet and open up your screens as I've done. The only way to really do that is to make sure you're on a computer. Now, our assignment. Come up here. These are all the links you would need to access, even the flyers that Mr. Borders was talking about for Friday, GGI. It's going to be very interesting. Miss Colby Chapman, if you're not aware, she used to be the director of student service. She's going to be there, and many others, especially if you all are into music, will be present that day, as Mr. Rush already described. Now, you're to come down to get in the right class, make sure in physics. You're to come down to today's due now, and it's by date. There are, and I'm just talking, explaining this to give you time to get into the document, make your own, and get ready for the next steps. Now, I'm going to come here. If you're in EDSB in your classroom view, this is the Facebook view, in my opinion. You're not able to see everything. All grades have been updated. So, for instance, if I come here to view all, and I'm going to use, I don't know, Mr. Sanders, for example, you have every class, but by every class is a My Work button. It's your student view. It's teacher, but it's similar. If I click on My Work, you'll see everything you haven't done and what your current grade is, especially if you look up here. If you have a red mark, that means you're in the DF range. If you have a yellow mark, that means you're in the DC range as far as grades. If your score shows green, little icon here, that means you're probably in a BC range. And then, of course, the blue one for excellent is in the AB range. Right? So you know where you are and where you stand once you get into your accounts. You go into this assessment view, which is better than a class view. You're able to still click on submit from your view and finish the assignments. The biggest thing that will help you, because we don't reteach, especially if you miss class, is the penalty or punishment for missing class or not paying attention. You have to watch an hour-long video and still do the assignment. So it behooves you to come to class and pay attention because, again, we can't reteach.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Can you show me how to get to the YouTube link again? Because I was struggling yesterday.
I was just about to talk about that. So if you come to library, right, you'll see here every recording and every link that goes to your classroom view. So if you go to the date you want to watch, for instance, let's do yesterday. It's this one here where it says physics or algebra. Anywhere it says the class name, that is the video recording in your library. If it has a different link, that means it might be Let's Code, it might be the GGI, so on and so forth, or this flyer for Friday's event. This is all in your library, everybody. Now, to answer her question, if I click on this, remember there is a movie file. It says .mp4. That means you got to download a big file. So I tried to make it easier. What you need to do is just click on the one that has view file and make sure it has a YouTube link. All right. So I'm gonna put yesterday's YouTube link in the chat in case you missed. It's asynchronous day, but if you didn't check in, you would mark absent. Asynchronous days does not mean you don't come to class. Right? That's the quickest way to fail all courses. If you don't even show up and check in, the teacher's gonna mark you absent, especially in my class. So this is a YouTube link from yesterday, in case you can't find that, and all the other links are in the library section. Now, today's assignment. If we come here and you're in SB with me, you'll scroll down, or you can go to your My Work section and find it. And this is the assignment for today. We have to graph the problem in order to solve a problem. That's all you have to do, and you're going to use that spreadsheet in a moment to do so. So I'm going to take this first part and put it in the chat so a student can read it in one moment.
Don't we gotta put that in the doc?
Not yet. Just give me a moment. You got the doc open though. You made your own copy? Journey?
Huh?
Did you make your own copy of that document I sent?
Yeah.
All right. So just hold on for a second before you use it. I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay. So I would like Mr. Concepcion to read what's in the chat there. And it's worth 40 points. You there? David? Your microphone is off, sir. Okay, he's having trouble, I think. All right, let me come back to him. Jalen, can you read what's in the chat there? It's worth 40 points.
A rose cover parade float is at X equals 0 seconds.
Whoa, start with hello, sir. You're skipping the gun.
Hello, officer. Okay, complete the following questions below. Note, asynchronous problems are done in class. Asynchronous problems are completed at home. One is a rose cover parade float is at X equals 0 seconds at time. T equals 0 seconds. The float moves straight line at 2.0 meters per second for the next 5 seconds before coming to a stop. After 5 seconds, stop. The float moves again at 1.0 meters per second in the same direction as before. A chart the position time graph for the float from the time t equals 0 seconds until the time t equals 15 seconds. From your graph, determine the position of the float at t equals 2 seconds and t equals 11 seconds.
All right, splendid, splendid. The next portion, let me put this in the chat for you. You got your 40 points, sir. Let's see if this much will fit. And again, I'm pulling this from EDSB in case you're confused about what to do. So students shouldn't say, what were you doing again? I'm like, okay, what were you doing a moment ago? Meaning you weren't paying attention. So 1 second, put this part, which is worth also 40 points in there. And I'm gonna grab this. And put that in there. So I'm gonna come back to Mr. David. Are you able to speak? Got his microphone off still. All right, David, I'm going to figure out what's going on with your equipment. But
Yeah.
oh, there you go. Okay, can you read 2A all the way down?
2A, a rose covered paradise float is a x equals 0 seconds at the time t equals 0 seconds. The float moves in a straight line at 1.5 meters per second for the next 3 seconds before coming to a stop. After a 3-second stop, the flow moves again at 1.0 meters per second in the same direction as before. A character chart the
Chart, yeah, go
position
ahead.
time graph for the float from the time t equals 0 seconds until the time t equals 15 seconds. Before you graph, determine the position of the float at t equals 2 seconds and t equals 11 seconds. Please remember to give maximum credits. All calculation steps for the final answer to the problem needs to be uploaded to SB Reader. The same formula will have been used since the start of the recording. This format is shown in the video. Stay safe out there and Zen.
Thank you, sir. All right, and that word you said earlier was parade, like a parade that goes down the street, but Billiken or something like that. All right, so we have a parade, and its float is in the parade, and it's basically traveling. So now I want to turn your attention to this document, right? So everybody should have this document, and they made their own copy. And I want you to do as I do in your document. So you should be watching my screen. Okay, you should be there, everybody, so you can get this done quickly. Because the next version is you're going to do it on your own using this document. So everybody should be in the tab that says basically PT for position time graph, that tab, S. The S means synchronous, meaning we do it together. So do this with me. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, we already talked about slopes and basically displacement. So that's anything that has a final and an initial. So delta X means basically, I'm going to put this in a document so you can copy to yours if you want, if you still have minds open. So basically, delta X, let's see if it does insert. So I tried this already. And not function, it's supposed to be characters, so it won't show. But come back to that because I got to supplant that later. So delta X is basically XF minus XI, final minus initial. That's how it works in all mathematics. Be delta Y, that means YF minus YI, and delta T is TF minus TI. So I just want you to know it's a mathematical operator. But this graph, what you're going to do is start off with a few seconds. So this goes 0 to 5 seconds. So do as I do. It's going to be 0 in the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You should be doing the same thing in your copy that I've just done. Next, we're going to give it a few different values of y. That's the distance in this case, or vertical. So x is usually time, and you'll see their position for distance is there for meters. Now I'm going to say, hey, at 0 seconds, nothing happened. This is a starting point. We'll move on to the next. Well, let's say the next time it moved 2, and then we're going to increase it by 2. You'll notice the graph will change with you. So we're going to increase it by 2 more. So basically we're saying that this float every second is moving about 2 meters. So the next one is going to be 4. The next one is going to be 6. Next one's going to be pretty much, what's 2 more to 6? That's 8, and then 10. So you see a constant graph or a positive slope. All right. So everybody should have this part done, because when you turn it in, I'm going to look in this section, and then I'm going to look at your asynchronous homework tab to see if you tried out the problem. Now, you have something called slope. So we can take however many seconds right here and literally copy it to your slope calculation. So these are your x inputs like you would do pretty much in geometry. Next, you need to put the y values. Now this automatically does what is called your slope, which is slope is equal to m. So I'm sorry, m is equal to delta y over delta x. You should know this from elementary school or basic mathematics. So we're going to take the same values for our y above, because this part right here allows us to graph everything. This part shows us we have a slope of just 2, which is correct. So that was a quick exercise. You would get in-class points for making sure you show me that tab and then this the asynchronous tab. So everybody should have what I have. If you don't know what it is, you go back to the document I sent you and you'll see these values here. Make sure they're showing on your copy of the spreadsheet I gave you. You should have made a copy a long time ago, everybody. Now, let's talk about the asynchronous assignment. Here, I've already done the problem for you, right? Next, I'm going to need to make sure you understand it. So let's start over. I'm going to put these values over here so we can come back to them.
So everything you're doing got to be on us.
On your, on your copy. Right? So you should have done that first sheet with me, everybody. All right. So these values I'm put here, and I'm going to remove them and show you why they're there. Okay. So you see I have nothing there. And if we go to our problem, which is already we talked about right here. So it says a rows covered parade float is at X. That's your starting position, right, for time. And time equals 0 seconds. So X equals 0, time equals 0. X in this case is your Y value. So don't get confused. That's always your position. But because we have 2 dimensions, we got to say Y is up and down for position. How many meters you climbed, and then X is how much time was used. So I said, if you notice here, we did this for pretty much 15. In part A, it tells you do it for 15 seconds. So I'm gonna type 0 to 15 here, right? You should do this on yours. And then explaining this data, remember it says time equals 0. You're gonna need to save your document because you're gonna have to use it on Friday's quiz, by the way, in case you see this graphing problem. So next, I'm gonna put in my values. So we started at time equals 0, position equals 0. You notice the graph changes. Next, it says in the problem, the float moves in a straight line at 2 meters, 2.0 meters. Now remember, if we go back to our EDSB, this is not the same problem. This is an example. So you got to put it in for yours. And I'm explaining this one, but you have to do it for yours, right? Because if we go back to your problem, it says 2 meters, 2 meters. So yeah, you should be straight. But the asynchronous problem is different. That's what I was trying to explain to you. So here, you're not doing the synchronous problem. You're finishing up the asynchronous problem. And the numbers are different. But let me explain the synchronous problem. So don't go just putting these values in and turn it in thinking it's right. These are the answers to the synchronous problem. All right? You're getting credit for figuring out the asynchronous problem. So this is an example. So the first thing you want to do is you want to change this gray box to the problem for 2A. Everybody understand that? You're going to copy what's in 2A and put it in this gray box. Make sure these 2 don't change because I kept it the same for you. I made it real easy. But let me show you how to do the synchronous problem, and then you got to figure out how to do the asynchronous problem. So to do that in this problem, like I said, we started at 0, 0. Next, we go into what happens at 1 second. So the float moves in a straight line at 2.0 meters per second for the next 5 seconds. So for 5 seconds more, that's from 1 all the way down to 5, basically these, we're going to be incrementing or adding up the amount of meters that it travels each second. So in the first second, it says it travels 2.0 meters per second. That means every second. So that first one is going to be 2, right? We got to keep doing this for a total of 5 seconds. So the next one is, if we do 2 seconds, that means we got to double or increase by the same amount. So that's 2 plus 2. That should be 4 now. And then 3 is what? Should be 6. What about 4? Well, we still do it to 5, right? So it's going to be 8. Right? And it's just going to keep on going. Right? I'm following this one right here. So it's moving at 2.8 every second. Now, these are sample values from a different problem, so don't use them. Use what I'm showing here. And let's see here. We got, what else here? It says we got to do it for 5 seconds, so that's going to be 10. Right? And you see how it increases there. Then it says for the next 5 seconds, it comes to a stop. So that means it stays at 10 meters for 5 more seconds. That's what we did. We did 2, 4. Every second it went up by 2. That's what the slope is. So we got to stop it at 10 meters next 5 seconds. I hope you're paying attention because you got to do this on your own for your homework problem. Now, what you're going to do is what? You got 11. You got to do the rest of the 15 seconds, right? So what happens after 5 seconds of stop? It goes on. I'm just reading the problem here. After a 5-second stop, the float moves again at 1 meter per second. So that means it's going to increment from the previous stop at 10 meters out in the water by 1 for every other second. That means here it's going to be 11. X is going to be 12 because every second you're increasing the float going further out. So I said water. I'm thinking about the ferry question. This is a float on the land. So we got 13. This is going to increment by 13. It's going to keep on increasing by just 1 second for 5 more seconds. By 1 meter for 5 more seconds. So that's 14 and then 15. Okay. Now down here is the slope. I do want you to do that part 2. So I made it real easy. All you got to do is once you figure it out, take the values from your asynchronous that you figure out. I want you to try this on your own because your homework problem is a little different. Plug that here. And you notice it gives me a slope of 0.84. So I got to continue this out because it's not all the way correct. This is 14. So this the problem is this doesn't start at 0. So let me fix this up. Okay, copy that. Shift it down by 1. Okay, and this should be 0. There we go. And 15 right here. Okay, so that's how it should look to get your slope and to figure out where it is. Now, part B is saying, hey, from your graph, determine the position of the float at 2 seconds. So if we come here, you notice 2 seconds is around what? Maybe 3 to 4 because I'm just following where the line is. And 2 seconds is here, time at the bottom. And then right here would be what? How far did it get out? That's around about 3 or 4 meters. Next is it says, well, what about at 11 seconds? So you come here where 10 seconds is. You come a little bit over and you match it up like you do in your regular classes. It's probably 11 meters. All right. And you can even look at the graph to see where it is. All right. So that's more than enough. I'm going to remove these values so you don't get confused. Those are sample values, by the way. So yeah, finish it up. You should have this part done. You should have this part done. And where it says master, you should remove copy part and you're safe. Just double click in the title and put your name in the parentheses. Okay, I made it real easy so I'll know where the file's coming from. Once you are done, you're going to share this link. Here's how you share your link. I'll make it easy for everybody. You click on share and you come down here to get link and change it to anyone. Just click on change. Once you do that, you copy and you put that in ESB to turn in. That's after you finish the asynchronous problem. So at this point, I'm going to review the objective and give you about maybe, it's 10:52, get out of here real soon. So give you maybe like 10 minutes to get it all done. They come here. All right, and let's see here. Who can I get to read this? Let's go for Stucky. Can you read both? Objective and the words. You there, Jalen? Seems like he's having microphone issues. Oh, there he is.
So we'll be able to utilize position time graphing techniques for evaluating averages and slope data. Consumer day averages. What are they elated?
Thank you, sir. All right, so you know what you need to do. You need 10 minutes to work on that, and then we're going to do share outs, okay? So remember, you're changing the problem to the asynchronous problem. If you get stuck, you can always go back to the document I gave you. It's still there, but you have to
Wait,
do.
so for the copy that we just had,
Hmm.
I gotta make another copy.
You should have made a copy already. No, you don't make another copy. You just change the problem to the asynchronous problem, right?
And then change the numbers around.
Well, you got to change the numbers to what matches the problem. Okay. So you can use my sheet as an example of what to do, but you should have your own copy, and in your own copy, you're doing the asynchronous problem. So this problem right here, you should put as 2A. This is the sample problem I did with you. So you can't really use these values to do it. You got to use the values that you think go in there for that particular problem, using what I showed you in the synchronous problem. Okay, so it's 11:04. Who would like to share out first? Oh, David left. Oh, Lord. Who would like to share out first? Now that I go down the list, Mr. Sanders, can you share your screen? I'm going to turn it on for you.
Did you say what?
Can you share your screen?
One moment.
Okay. Okay, he's having trouble. Jalen, you share your screen? Should have at least have the document started.
Mr. Tyler, I got one question.
Go ahead.
For the letter C, how you come up with 82?
How I come over 82?
Uh-huh.
You mean 82?
On the document you share.
Right, that's the slope, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to you're gonna have to watch the video, dear, and come back to it because we're almost out of time. It is 11:06, and people are taking a lot of time to share. So what I'm gonna say is
I'll
this:
share out.
go ahead, because these are in-class points. We
Yeah,
cannot
I'll
wait.
share out. Let me go to
You
my
did something.
phone.
I'm already marking off the people who have not shared yet. Wait, wait.
You see it.
Yep, it's coming up. Okay. Oh, okay, you did good. All right, don't forget about the word of the day and stuff. You gotta type that in there. Okay.
For real.
Yeah, just find an empty cell, type in the definitions. It's extra 25 points. All right, so get ready for GGI. Before you do, Journey, because you participated, I want to get you some extra points. Can you read the objective on the screen?
It's not on there. Turn it down.
You see it?
Students will be able to utilize position time graphing techniques for evaluating averages and slopes data. Classroom term of the day is averages, word of the day is elated.
Awesome. All right, so everybody remember, if you have not shared, you can share tomorrow what you've done. We're running out of time basically and get ready for GGI. So you need the word of the day, and the classroom term of the day is definition. All right, so you're gonna find a cell and type it in there, just like this, and that's an extra 25 points to exit slip. So find the cell. I'll type in as an example to show you in your asynchronous part. So you can just come down here, click a cell, and type in those words. So the one you want to do is what? Just put exit slip. And then make sure you put the word of the day and the classroom term of the day here. Okay. Again, you can use my slide deck to do that. All right. The 11:08. If you go on Edsby, you should be able to see where the GGI link is. You should go to GGI, especially if you don't have the scores you want in your classes. But don't forget to finish this part here with what's necessary so you can get all the points. You can also get additional 15 points if you put the objective there. And again, you got to check out the classroom, Bitmoji classroom part that I put in the Edsby as well to figure out what that was. Journey just read it a moment ago. Okay, so take care of those things because it's going to really help your scores. And all right, so everybody knows where the GGI links are, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you might want to head over to GGI and try to take care of that. Remember, this part has to be copied over and filled out in order to get the points in your version. So before you close out, make sure you grab these sections I put here in my document that you have access to get those extra points. All right. So I see you all in GGI. It is now 11:10. I need you to start heading over to GGI. Just go to the link in Edsby, click on it. Are they all gone? All right, Rush, I'm going to GGI.
Copy that.